So let's do a little unboxing on the front brakes. So here's the OEM pads, the textile on the back, and the M logo. Here's the other one. And I've already done one of the axles, so I'm just gonna show you the right side parts, but it's essentially identical. And let's grab the rotor. So whenever you do the rotors, you're also gonna need a bag of new set screws for your rotor. So I've got those right here. Here's the new OEM rotor. So here's a good reason why you need to check your rotors before you just try to throw them on. So this is actually a rear rotor, and I pulled it out of the box that was labeled front right. And I know it's the rear because it's too small and the holes don't line up. And also the minimum thickness is a little bit different front to rear. So the front minimum thickness is actually 34.4. On the rear, you're gonna see 22.4. So these boxes are mislabeled. So let's go back to the unboxing and see if we can get the right one. All right, so now I was able to find the correct rotor, the front rotor for the right. And you can immediately tell the difference because it's much bigger and weightier in your hand. So, and then you got these little aligning pins here on the hub to help you line the rotor up. So let's just get that on there. That more. It's gonna go like this. So these rotors actually only fit on one way, so you can't mess it up. on, and it's aligned right now. So now I'm gonna grab the new pads. I'm gonna grab the caliper, and these silver things on the pads sit towards the rear. You can't mess it up. And you just sit right in there. And then as you're putting it on, you're gonna have to keep the pads from tipping as you slide the caliper onto the rotor. Go, so now that's on. You just put on the bolts for your caliper support. So we're just gonna tighten those up real quick. And the best tool to use for that is a 14mm 6-point socket. Zip it down as much as we can. And then we're going to use the extra pull for leverage to get it tighter. And you got to be careful with these bolts because they are aluminum, so you do not want to snap them. You'll feel them stretch, and then you want to let go. And this extension I'm using is fairly long, so you're going to get a lot of leverage with it. So you want to be especially careful with these aluminum bolts. You'll feel them stretch, like I said, and then you want to let go so you don't snap them. And the next thing you're going to do is get your retaining pins for the brake pad, and you're gonna put those back in the back side of the brake pad, and it'll go across through the caliper where it'll keep the pads in place. So when your brakes are back together, this is what it should look like. So you should see the retaining pins. Let's see if we can get a better look at those with a flashlight. So you should see your retaining pins poking out right there. Your rotor direction should look like that, and then when it spins it will look like that. And it is recommended that you chamfer the edge of your brake pad to not get squealing, but I'm just not going to do it because I'm too lazy right now.